man, we're getting to the main topic before 9. What is this?
Good. I'm tired, man. I want to go to bed.
All right, let's do this.
This week we watched and are reviewing Netflix's new movie.
No. Zack Snyder's new movie.
Netflix's new movie, written by,
Something else.
Starring
everything by Zack
Cinematography.
Snyder.
Did he cameo in this one? Sure.
Yes. It's in the Vegas scene. Most of it's in Vegas. It's when at the intro when people are getting killed. And he's just running out of a room, and you see it in the reflection of a mirror. It's a very bad cameo.
Okay.
Larry Fong had a better cameo. You got a poster.
He was probably running out of the room to go grab the cameras to make sure he could actually operate it. Look, I give that guy crap, but props to him for being as hands-on as he is. It does make it his movie, and he has to live and die by that. So,
not really. He kind of lives and dies by his social media following at this point.
That's fair.
No, he just lives by it.
Well, at some point, someone may get cold. If that's all he cares about, and that's all he's known for, at some point, studios will stop hiring him. He makes good enough movies, though, that that's the thing. He's a good creative. So
keep going.
Army of the Dead.
So this is his return to zombies after what? Gosh, when was Dawn of the Dead done?
I think 08.
Was it only 08? I thought it was 2005 or 2003 or something like that.
Luke's got it.
4.
Wow.
So it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been.
Dude, I was 12 years old.
But yeah,
some time.
This is kind of his, coming off of
1978,
coming off of superhero movies and a bunch of kind of properties that existed before him. Here's a creative, an original IP, I guess is what we would call it. What are your guys' initial impressions?
For it.
I actually wrote something down. I actually typed this one out.
Ooh.
Dude, look at my notes for this. See right there, it says Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Underneath it. I didn't write anything.
I wrote notes.
Luke's still processing.
I have to wing it tonight, boys. Oh boy.
I wrote Army of the Dead provides some cool ideas for the zombie genre, but ultimately fails to do anything more than that. While it starts slow, it finds its footing in the second act a bit, but eventually fails to deliver any sort of meaningful punch in the end.
Okay. I'll go.
We are so excited to be reviewing this.
So I actually, for the most part, I do like this movie. I think it has some serious pacing issues, but I think especially the leads, what I said in my tweet was they ooze charisma. You can tell that Dave Bautista is just loving every minute of this movie that he's in. And I think that a lot like the Fast movies, which I don't love, you can tell a lot of the time they're just having so much fun that it kind of translates into the audience. And that worked for me. I think it's got some decent tension. It's got some interesting ideas that it plays around with. I don't think it commits enough on some of those in the end. But, it was I haven't seen a good zombie movie, and that may be on me for not checking out smaller stuff, in a while. And this was kind of just a fun zombie movie for me.
Zombieland 2, man.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it when I watched it. It was just Zombieland 1, though.
I like the movies that make fun of zombie movies, because I don't like zombies. I think zombies are just such a... You can't get around the cliches. Nobody's ever done it. And it's just so annoying to watch. And when they just make fun of it in Zombieland or Shaun of the Dead, I can get behind it. Anyway, I've always said I wish Snyder would stop directing and be a cinematographer. And I take everything back. I wish he'd stop making movies, honestly, at this point, because this movie was infuriating. It's long, it's boring, it's bland, it's dull. You can't see anything. I kept thinking I wasn't wearing my glasses because I had my contacts in. I hated it. The only good part of the movie is the intro credits, and there's like 2 or 3 things throughout where that make you go, what? And they're never addressed again.
I wonder if it's what I texted you about.
Interesting.
And I need Snyder to focus on his story first. Story is the most important thing, probably followed by characters. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't think anybody was good acting in this movie, except the tiger was pretty good, I guess. It's 2.5 hours long. Hire a freaking editor, dude. Ugh, I hated it, and I finished it at like 1:30 in the morning so I could review it, and I could have finished it earlier, but I stopped halfway through because I was about to turn it off. Then I was like, if I do that, then I can't complain about it.
I'm grateful you finished it so that you could complain.
What did you think of the event to kick off the whole thing?
That was... Why is everybody so horny in this movie? Literally every dude is like, hey girl, I want to bang you. It's like... You don't all act like that.
I text Brett like
even Bautista does it for a little bit with his chick, like halfway through the movie. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude.
Maria.
I don't know if I saved the conversation, Brett, but I was like texting Brett as I was watching it. No, I didn't. I deleted it. So I started it, and about 5 minutes in, I was like, okay, are we really doing this? Is this how this movie starts? And Brett was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching Army of the Dead. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then, like, as the movie was progressing, I was still texting. Like, I don't even remember characters' names. I need to pull them up. But I only remember...
Valentine and Coyote. I only remember those two because they're animals. One of them was a girl.
I remember Dieter.
One of them was a tiger.
I like Dieter.
He's like the only one I remember.
My favorite part was Dieter when he was like, how do we kill zombies? Have you never seen any zombie movie? You're calling them zombies, so I'm assuming you've seen a zombie movie. You shoot them. That's how.
So...
And you can't see anything at the same time because you're looking through a telescope that's totally blurred.
All right, well, should we talk some pros?
Yeah, you guys talk about your pros.
Did you have any?
The opening credits.
Which was essentially the trailer.
Yeah. And it's the only time you ever get to see Vegas.
It's the... Okay, that's a con, so I shouldn't say that. I was going to make a comment, but then it's like it turns into a con. No. I thought the action was pretty good. There's not enough of it at the end of the movie, and a lot of times these guys have got aimbots working for them because it's just like...
Dude, they got the perfect aim.
Spraying a machine gun and
every single one's a headshot.
Everyone's a headshot. It doesn't make any sense.
Even his daughter, who's like never held a gun.
Oh yeah. Just
Killjoy.
Maria Cruz, who is the kind of the first guy that Scott goes to recruit.
The girl, his girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
The girl who there's some tension there, some relationship tension there maybe. She has a scene. Oh no, that wasn't her.
It was the TikTok girl.
The TikTok girl. She has a really good action scene kicking off the second act.
That you can't see.
The what? Did you call her the TikTok girl?
Yeah, the social media.
She's a YouTube girl.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, no, not in real life.
Oh, I was like, what?
She was with the dude who didn't know how to hold the gun.
The influencer.
Red bandana.
Yeah.
He had one guy run away, and then she was still there.
That dude is the smartest person in any zombie movie ever. Oh, we're talking about zombies? I'm out. You know what? He lived.
Good for you.
He's one of the ones that lived.
But yeah, so I think it has some decent action. Even so, there's that scene. There's the one at the end where they're running through the casino when it's all on. I enjoyed it. I do think that some of the
That's
Whenever there's something cool, there's something that ruined it for me. When it was the blurry camera, or it's just dark, or something like with the what's her name? Red bandana.
yeah,
Red bandana.
Red
YouTuber.
bandana.
Like you couldn't really see stuff sometimes. Sometimes you could, and then sometimes you couldn't.
Chambers was her
Maria
character
Chambers.
name. Chambers had a great action scene.
at the kitchen.
Yeah.
When they're sneaking through.
When they're sneaking through. That's another thing I like. The zombies and I know that nothing's really new, right? But I do think the combination of, hey, there's like a hierarchy here. There's these alphas that are fat. We've seen fast zombies before. That's not new. But the what do they call them?
Shamblers.
Shamblers. They will dry out in the sun, and if it rains, they wake back up for a little bit.
Know what I was expecting the entire movie? For it to rain.
That would have been cool. That would have been really cool.
The whole movie I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna start raining and it might
And
get kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Nope.
Another one of those cool ideas.
But
cool
they
idea.
also have the hibernate, like what we were talking about with the action scene is the hibernation. Like they have to hibernate because they still use energy.
Yeah.
And so like that was a fun little twist. So I did enjoy some of what he did with the zombies.
Yeah. I wrote zombie hierarchy as my number one pro. I thought that was interesting. Like the that's a spoiler. Just the way that the zombies operate and how our human characters interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, I thought was kind of interesting. I'm like, I've not seen anything like that before. Like having zombies that actually can think is something that I think is kind of a cool idea to play with.
Yep.
I wrote that some of the secondary characters are fine, pretty good. Namely Dieter.
I liked Guzman.
Guzman, I hated the first time I saw him, and then I kind of
yeah.
started to come around on him
Is
a
that
little
the
bit.
other YouTuber?
Yeah,
He's the main YouTuber guy. Yeah.
yeah, and then I actually liked where are you at?
Valentine.
The tiger?
No,
Oh.
Vandero.
Vandero.
I
The guy
yeah.
protecting Dieter.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually liked him and Dieter together.
Yeah, I
that
think
was,
they
in my
had
opinion,
good chemistry.
probably the two best. I thought I actually didn't enjoy Batista much in this. This is gonna sound really strange, but I just think he's too good to do it.
Okay, so here's why I think I don't. Here's what I understand. I think I understand what you're saying. And here's my take on it. I think I enjoy him when he's not with his daughter.
Yeah,
Dude, the daughter
Kate-
stuff was so stupid.
The daughter.
yeah. We
like,
were texting about that the whole
no,
time.
no hate to Ella Purnell or like the actress. I just don't think it's a good character for the movie. I don't think it's necessary at all for the story you're telling.
It's the most cliche bit too. Everything that's cliche about this movie, not all of them. Most of them happen with her.
Yeah.
With somebody always does something stupid and somebody dies because of it.
Yeah.
She does like 9 out of the 10 things.
Yeah, yep.
And like if you cut that part out, this movie's an hour 45 minutes and it's just a fun watch.
Yeah.
And I would probably give it a lot higher rating just if you take that stuff out.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, I didn't think Batista was bad, and I don't have him here as a con. Batista's a really good actor, and I don't really feel like he got to do that. And, like, the Vegas scene, like, at the end when they're running out of the casino,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy that scene because I, 1, couldn't see anything, and 2, everything was a headshot, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is too much. I think the
They-
best action scene is definitely the kitchen scene.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen scene I thought was actually really good.
And it has
It
that
was
natural.
the best
It has that
action
natural progression of like
There's tension.
there's tension. It
Yep.
starts off slow. It slowly builds. There's a moment when you're like, oh, I think it's over, and then it's like, oh, maybe it's not.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then like it plays with the interesting concept with the zombies there
Mhm.
too. Like it just does all the things.
My issue that I have with it is she tells the guy to go, and I go, oh, I know what he's gonna do. Everybody knows what this character is in the movie. The human villain.
Which that dude was awful.
Yeah.
Take that bit out of the movie too. You
Martin.
keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I do feel like there are a lot of threads that he's trying to weave together that this would be a cleaner, simpler, more well-paced. Pacing. You talked about the 2.5 hours.
Are we into cons now?
It could go just
I'm always in the cons,
click,
baby.
click, and really move through at a nice pace. But it does get slowed down because it's trying to service all these little things, and it can't commit to any of them really.
You have a 5.5 minute dialogue scene with Batista and his daughter saying the same thing over and over again. Like they'll be like, I didn't. So it's kind of the beginning. I didn't kill your mom because I didn't love her or whatever. And she's like, I know that. Well, I didn't do it because I didn't love her. I loved your mom. Yeah, I know. I didn't do that. Well, I didn't do it. It's like, say your words.
But yeah, we can move into proper con list here.
Okay, first con for me, Act 1.
The entire thing, eh?
I would honestly, and I'm not exaggerating. I think this is the worst first act in a movie I've ever seen. Like, I'm not kidding. It's so bad.
I think
Like, I texted you and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this has to do something because I'm going to turn this off. Like, I will not finish this movie. And you're like, second act gets better, dude. Just hold on. And I was like, okay. It's awful.
the problem is nothing in the first act has any relevance on the actual story. So like for a proper arc, you need something happening to set up and then something concluding, and there's there's a single thread that connects the last 2 minutes to the first 40 minutes. And it's not well done because it involves Batista and his daughter, and we've already established that it's not a good character.
Yep.
And so literally you could start this movie at the second act mark and not miss anything.
You could start this movie with the conversation between Bly and Batista.
Oh,
Scorpion.
Oh, Tanaka.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think his
I can't remember
Bly. It
anybody's
is Bly.
name.
It is Bly.
I think his name's Bly Tanaka.
Oh,
Bly
okay.
Tanaka. Yeah, that would be a great place for it to start.
Yep.
Um,
I hate how the whole event starts. I just think it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Horny boys.
It's
And
like,
I
you
don't
mean to tell me a military convoy is like not gonna, like, the 3 cars behind the front car wouldn't see that and do something about it?
Well,
You're telling me that dinky little car flipped a tank almost,
Right.
or a Humvee?
Right.
Way bigger than a Humvee. Also, it exploded, which
it
is
exploded.
kind of annoying.
But no, my favorite thing was that like it exploded. That first car exploded.
Are we doing spoilers?
Well, this is
I don't-
hardly a
this is the
spoiler.
first-
I know.
But
I want to know.
We can dip into spoilers here in just a minute.
Okay.
And then like 2 minutes later, it cuts back, and all the cars are just engulfed in flame. Like there's no reason for that to have happened, but it is because that's Snyder likes his destruction.
Yeah. Yep. Well, with Act 1 being one of the worst first acts I've ever seen, there's also this tacked on final scene in the movie that is a con for me.
Mm.
Because we gotta set up our sequels, but boo, that felt like it was filmed with 4 people.
Yeah.
Like they were like, all right, what can we do in a garage? We can do this. I'll do the camera. Let's just find like 3 people in the area and Amari Hardwick, and we're just gonna roll with it.
It kind of reminded me of the
The Martian Manhunter scene.
This
Yeah.
entire movie to me felt like watching the nightmare sequence for 2.5 hours. That's what it was for me. Because it just looked horrible throughout the whole thing. Characters don't look like they belong in the scene because they weren't there. Sometimes. I'll say they did do okay with that sometimes.
Wasn't it the
It was the
helicopter
pilot.
The pilot
Yeah, that was
was-
Chris D'Elia's character, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Had to be recast
But
post shooting.
that's how it felt to me.
Yeah, so you
So-
mentioned earlier depth of field, how this movie is shot, the cinematography.
If anybody watching this has never worn glasses or contacts, watch this movie and you'll know what it's like. Everything's blurry.
I've never owned glasses or contacts.
That's what it's like.
I'm amazed at how much he uses it. It's such a wide lens with shallow depth of field. Everything like it's I don't know what he was
Everything
going
is
for.
blurry except for like the barrel of the gun. And you can't see anything else.
Yeah.
It's like, so I actually wrote down, it's like shooting a movie in portrait mode on your phone.
My theory, and this is just a
It's worse
theory.
than that.
Well, obviously on a giant TV screen it's going to look worse, but that's what it does. It blurs everything around it.
So my theory is that after doing the big movies he's done, 300, Watchmen, the DC stuff, he's really gotten into the slow-mo, super close-up
Hot dogs.
kind of shots, right? We're gonna show you
Those look better
we're gonna
than
show you
some
the
of these.
casing of the bullet, it's falling down. And when you're shooting on a macro lens in that kind of environment, you have that depth of field. And my thinking is he must just really like how that looks and is like, I'm gonna apply that to every shot. Please don't.
Yeah,
Please don't.
Can I get the studio cut of this movie?
release the Netflix cut.
Yeah. I want to see what it should look like. Like during the opening credits, when you can just see Vegas and nothing's really blurry. I didn't mind that. Didn't mind it. In fact, it looked pretty good.
Did you say something good about the movie?
I liked the opening credits, which is kind of a thing that Snyder always does. He
Yeah.
always does a music video in the credits.
Oh, so there's another con. The music in this
Zombie!
movie.
Zombie! Somebody should let the people that made this movie know what that song's about.
The parallels I see between what his decisions were in this movie and what his decisions were in Justice League, like for things like music, just as an example, I don't know where his head's at. Like, how do you use that much licensed music in that manner and get away with it? I mean, I don't think he gets away with it. I mean, I think it's a bad decision. I don't think it works. But the studio let him get away with it.
Dude, Snyder's a genius.
He's definitely somebody that people like to work with. So he gets away with a lot.
Yeah. I think he needs a different editor.
He needs an editor. Who... yeah, he needs a different editor.
He's got too many, and I said this about the Snyder Cut, he has too many yes men in the room with him.
He literally thinks like, man, I feel bad because I'm just ragging on Snyder. And I love Man of Steel, man.
Me too.
But he has an idea and he goes, man, it'd be really cool if, like, as a joke almost, be like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Everybody's like, yeah. And then he just does it, and it makes no sense in the movie.
Speaking of that, one of my cons is he presents more ideas than necessary and doesn't really go for any of them.
We go into spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Let's go into spoilers.
If you're listening and care to not be spoiled, follow the timestamps to the end of the spoilers.
I'll put them in there.
See that robot?
Okay, Stephanie pointed it out.
One of them gets shot, and they have a robot head.
And I was like...
That's where I almost turned it off.
I
was pretty close to the end.
That was one of the alphas, correct?
I think it's a shambler. I don't know, and I don't care. But
there was one that kind of was like, is that a robot?
It gets shot. There's some like metallic thing in its chin, and there's like electricity going around it. It's so quick.
Well, so the blue stuff. I just kind of later I just thought, oh, it must have been. I must have just thought that blue stuff looked like electricity, and the fact that you pointed out, we had not discussed this beforehand.
It was a robot, as Anthony Hopkins would say.
The robot.
And this was in the casino scene?
It's when they're like sprinting on the tables. I think it's actually right at that moment Batista shoots it. That's one of the things where it's just like, what is that for? Like, what is that setting up? And he does things like that throughout the entire movie. What's with the bit outside of the safe where he's just like, this is a different timeline.
Okay. So
and then it shows dead people wearing the same clothes right next to him.
That's what I was talking about when we were on Xbox, and I was like, what is this? So then I text Brett.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what we were going for there. And honestly, like, I think that would have made an interesting turn in the movie.
You also have... So I think...
Dude, if they would have died in those spots, I would have been like, whoa. That probably would have been really cool to me.
Yeah.
But you know what? I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Well, yeah.
Because I just know Snyder. It's little hints and no payoff.
The other thing that I think, we've talked about the robots. We've talked about maybe a time thing. Like, the fact that the original shipment is coming from Area 51... Aliens. Like, there's
it's
all
alien
these
virus, yeah.
little hints of, like, what could it be? But they never... And, again, you can have mystery, but if you're going to tease us with 3 or 4 different things, I think you do need to commit to say, like, hey, here is something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just... It's too much of a tease.
Yeah.
Too much teasing's bad. You can't let the... they say when you're playing with like a dog and their toy, right? Like you can't always beat the dog, or you can't always keep the dog, not let the dog grab the toy, otherwise it will lose interest. And I think that's how I feel with Snyder and these kinds of things. It's like, you can't just throw me a bone and then snatch it away and not like give me the satisfaction of figuring something out. So I don't know.
Also, even zombies are horny.
I didn't mind.
Oh, yep.
I didn't mind that. Yeah. It was right before.
I did not notice that when I was watching it.
I need to talk into my mic here. But I didn't mind the idea of an evolved version of zombies that would try and recreate in different ways.
I actually like that.
But again, it's not paid off and it's not subverted. It's just abandoned.
Yeah, the whole baby thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny how I've been watching this whole movie, and like every single dude walks up to like one of the girls and they're like, "Can I help you out? Need some help with that? Mind if I park it in the back?"
Oh my gosh.
It's just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And then we have this weird roaring conversation between zombies, and he puts his head on his stomach, and I was like, he's horny too. He's having a baby. What is going on? And yeah, if like that was a plot, like, oh dude, zombies are freaking having kids.
Yeah,
there's a different plot thread you could go.
Yeah.
But just nothing.
Yeah, there's additions, and then they have like the pool thing where he like holds the baby,
They do the Lion King.
and like there's ideas in here that actually, if built upon, could be really cool for the zombie genre, and that's kind of what I talked about earlier. But like, abandoned is the perfect term. Everything that is really cool that could add to this genre is abandoned within 2 minutes of it being introduced.
Yeah.
Yep.
So dumb. Wasted ammunition.
And it's not like, I mean, obviously
Somebody's going to take that stuff and make a better movie.
Probably. Which is great. It's just, it sucks that Zach couldn't hit it out of the park on the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Other spoiler related things.
The dude that works for Tanaka that goes in.
Martin.
Cliche and extremely irritating character. Also, I was just so annoyed that we like had to go through his story beat twice with like the queen.
Oh,
like she was right there. There was nobody around.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you could have played it off there somehow to speed things up. And then, oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, why would you try and get your teammates killed? Those zombies wake up, they're gonna come after you too, dude. You let TikTok girl make it through there.
Yeah.
You can just go about your business. You can take the queen's head, and everything is probably fine the rest of the movie. But no, he's like, I gotta kill her because she was mean when I was horny to her.
Yeah, there's no reason at that point in the movie why he doesn't just walk away and go back out the exact same way he came.
Yeah, because they're at the entrance.
They're literally like
they walk in and the queen's like, hey.
See,
it's more of a.
See, that's the stuff though that I liked. Not that part, but like that she would come out and like greet
them.
Yeah, and I
for
was
sure.
like, okay, so they have to interact. They have to bargain with these alpha zombies so they can go into Vegas, so they can be a part of that domain. And I was like, man, that is kind of a really cool idea that I've not seen before.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's out there, but I've never seen it. And I just thought that was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another idea that was really cool, and then it just kind of goes away.
So something else this movie didn't need. I mean, it needed it in the editing room, but not in the movie, and that it's a ticking clock.
Oh, yeah.
We have 1 hour. We have 20 minutes, and then decides to take 30 minutes of movie time to do.
We gotta have a conversation. That's when I texted you. I was like, okay, so let's talk about our love plot now. When the clock starts.
Okay. The moment she turned around and was like, I really like you. That's why I came with you. I was like, you're dying next. Yeah. Literally, 10 seconds later, the worst death in the movie probably just... Oh! That was... Honestly, that would be embarrassing to me. If I was that actress, I'd be like, man, you could have done better on that. That looked so janky. But those type of neck breaks in movies never look good, and the bone like popping up like 3 seconds late was just so weird to me.
I raised you, Overlord.
That one's done good.
That's what I'm saying. You said they never look good.
But also, that was not...
We should watch Overlord.
That is
a good zombie movie.
That is a good zombie movie.
That's a good zombie movie.
That's a good zombie movie. Agreed.
All right. I don't know if you guys have more cons. I do.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about... I could nitpick.
My last con is kind of mean, but it's Snyder.
Okay.
Just too much of his yes men telling him he should do these things. I wish he would hire people who would challenge his ideas a little bit.
Push him.
Yep. Because he's not going to get any better if people just keep saying yes.
That's true. You're not wrong.
Just, I don't know.
My last real con is, and I mentioned it earlier, but it's Kate's the reason Kate is there, which is Gita and
the daughter.
Kate is the daughter.
Kate's
Okay.
the daughter.
Yeah.
Gita's the girl, the mother who
Oh,
she's
who
going
ran in?
to try and save. Who we don't know if she actually survived or not. Because
No, she didn't. She died on the roof, didn't she?
No, she was in the helicopter. There's a shot of her in
Oh,
the helicopter.
She died.
They don't show it?
I think they did.
I don't think so.
I thought she got bit on the helicopter.
Someone got bit. Mm.
Well, I agree. Kate sucked. I have two last cons that I at least can think of right now. One's a spoiler, the other one's not. Everybody died. So I wasted 2.5 hours because nobody made it out. I guess Kate made it out. Whatever. Whoop-de-flippin'-do. The worst character. One of the worst characters in the movie.
If you're gonna
If it's a heist movie, some of them got to make it out.
I disagree. Except
Or you gotta learn something.
Well, that's the thing.
They didn't learn
There has to
anything.
be it has to intentionally be subverting expectation at that point if you're going to do it, because it needs to be done with intentionality, and I feel like it wasn't done with intentionality. Like it's a zombie movie, so like yeah, there are zombie movies where people don't make it out, and that's fine. But there, like you said, it's also a heist movie, and so you have to be very conscious, I think, of what you're doing there. And we have Vander
Vondero.
Doing safe.
So he gets out somehow, survives walking through a nuclear wasteland.
Dude, he would have melted the moment that safe opened.
And so like there's just those things where I think you're right, Luke. It's not really
When did he
thought
get bit?
through.
In the hallway. Oh, there's another con. Like, we're in Vegas, right? The movie's in Vegas. And the majority of a movie takes place inside and in a hallway. Like, I don't know what...
It was
Like-
shot in a garage, dude.
Like, let's have a nighttime Vegas so we can see Vegas.
Like the lights and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would have been way cooler. But no, we get a hallway. It's a gray hallway.
In a parking lot that's made to look like it was blown up, where they can do some bargaining.
And then the last thing I have is let's make our characters a little smarter. How about? This would be something new. Let's go in with not saws that probably weigh 75 pounds.
Oh no, dude, the saw was dope. I love it. I'm here for it.
He used it in the intro, and he did not use it when they went back in.
It's true.
They used it to cut through a wall.
That's true. They did. Yeah.
They used it to cut through a
used it
wall.
once.
Let's go in with weapons that you can move quickly in. It's going to be more important to probably run and gun than to stand firm and use giant weapons and saws.
They should use silenced weapons too.
That's what I was just going to say. Bring a silencer. Somebody wakes up and just go, ting.
Silencer,
fall over.
Silenced rifle, a bow, and a crossbow.
Yeah. Also, let's not go in with tank tops and sports bras. Why don't we go in with leather, hockey pads, football pads, a helmet?
Something to prevent a
Kate goes-
zombie from
Kate's
biting.
like, I'm going in there. She's wearing a cut-off shirt and a sports bra, and it's like, okay. The dude with the saw who went in the safe was in a tank top.
Yeah.
The safecracker was wearing a polo.
You know what this movie...
Wear some football pads, bro! Like,
This
or-
movie
Oh,
just really made me
golly.
want to play Left 4 Dead.
Why in every zombie movie are they, like, dressed to look sexy?
Cause, dude.
Sex sells.
Yeah, that's why all the characters are freaking horny throughout this entire movie.
Back 4 Blood comes out in October if you guys want to play it with me.
What does?
Back 4 Blood.
I don't know what that is.
It's a zombie game.
The only zombie game I'll play is Last of Us because it's not a zombie game. But it's better than the others. Good writing will save your zombie movie.
Won't
save it. It'll make it better.
We haven't given our ratings yet.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Forgot about that part.
What do you think I'm gonna give it?
Luke, you wanna start us out on the low end?
I give it a 2 out of 10. I give it a 1 out of 2, and I give it a flaming dumpster fire.
Ooh, a dumpster fire from Luke.
I give it a dumpster fire. That's my dumpster fire of the year, and I don't think I gave one last year.
You tried not to, yeah. That was
Nice.
intentionally.
You made it pretty far. I'll give it to Matthew McConaughey.
Not a lot of movies came out last year.
Yeah,
I'll give it to Matthew McConaughey. Some of it's enjoyable. A lot of it's bad, but there's some cool ideas there, and I know there's more coming, so I'll watch whatever part of it comes next.
What if the anime is just as blurry?
would it be anime at that point? I feel like that's breaking the anime style too much, almost.
I feel like it's not really going to be an anime. I
Are
feel
they
like it's
making
gonna be
another
animated.
movie too?
It's about the German dude. And I think he's directing it.
Dieter?
Yeah.
It's about Dieter?
Army of Thieves, I think is what it's called. It's a prequel.
Oh.
Both of the next things coming out are prequels.
Wait a minute. If it's a prequel about Dieter,
So not about zombies?
it's not about zombies, right?
I don't know.
I'm
'Cause he
significantly
doesn't-
less interested in that.
Yeah.
I like Dieter. We mentioned he's one of our
Yeah, he's one of the better characters. in the movie.
characters, but like,
Is Snyder doing that one too?
that's weird.
No,
Okay.
I think the dude who's Dieter is directing it. That's what I saw.
I'm gonna stand with Tyler. I'm gonna give this a Matthew McConaughey
Yeah.
as well. I think that if you're wanting just to sit down and watch something that's kind of mindless and it has some interesting ideas, it's a zombie movie. It's got a little good action. I think this will scratch that itch.
Army of Thieves.
I probably
A prequel set before the events of Army of the Dead, which focuses on Ludwig Dieter leading a group of survivors during the zombie apocalypse. Director Matthias Schweighöfer.
Snyder thought this one out when he made these movies.
okay. Well,
Yeah. So Dieter's character,
So the dude Dieter is directing it.
and Dieter doesn't know how to kill a zombie, but he leads survivors during a zombie apocalypse. Yet we are not in a zombie apocalypse when Army of the Dead starts.
oh boy.
Okay, yeah, sure. Why not?
Maybe this is
Oh,
one of
here we
those
go. There's the thing I liked.
alternative
I loved in this movie how the U.S. government was like, "We're gonna nuke it."
timelines.
I liked that. I liked that.
Good decision.
You mean those
I remember when I
zombies-
saw the trailer, I was like, "You should nuke it,"
They did.
and everybody died,
They did.
including our main characters.
Except for Kate.
Not a main character, shite character.
Ooh. Luke is spicy now. I like it when
Dude,
Luke
I
gets
hated
spicy.
this movie so much.
We kind of figured you would.
Yeah.
And plus, it doesn't help either that we've been like raining all weekend and couldn't beat it. Like in my room, it's 80 degrees because the air conditioner doesn't work. It's 1 a.m. Ugh.
Sounds like perfect conditions to watch a Zack Snyder movie.